If I have to describe Moto Edge 40 in one liner, it is a jack of all trades but master of none. Now this phone packs all the features and tries to please everyone, but it just falls short. I mean, you cannot call this a gaming phone, nor is it a camera phone, but this appeals to a lot of casual users who do a bit of casual gaming, take that occasional photo and want a good looking phone. This might live up to their expectations. So let's start this review with some users' concerns. The heating issue is one of them, so I tried comparing this with a phone that is not really known for overheating. So in this CPU throttling test, you can actually see that the Snapdragon 865, the S20FE 5G is heating a little more compared to the Edge 40. That's clearly because the Edge 40 is throttling a lot more, as you can see. And yes, this is not summer, so just add 3 to 5 degrees more just to compensate for the summers. So after testing this over 10 minutes, you can see the temperature is pretty much comparable. However, Edge 40 has to throttle the CPU so that it keeps itself cool, which clearly shows that it is not really very good in terms of thermal management or even the processor. So I won't say it overheats too much unless you push it too hard, but there is going to be performance loss. Another interesting thing that I noticed while using both the phones outdoors, Edge 40 was getting slightly hotter as compared to the Samsung phone. The reason is the simple fact that the vegan leather is not as good as the plastic back in terms of dissipation and conducting the heat. So this is also another reason contributing to a bit of more overheating. So let's say if you're going to use the camera outdoors too much in the bright sunny day, then this can cause issues. Also, speaking of the build, this doesn't have the Gorilla Glass, and I would say this is a delicate phone. Forget the scratches, it didn't survive my accidental drop under 1 feet, so this has to be one of the major cons of this device. Speaking of the performance, here are the Geekbench scores, and I tried gaming for a short while and I did have a decent experience. Again, if you do long hours, then don't expect too much because of the throttling and stuff. So this is not really recommended for heavy gamers. So talking about the day-to-day normal tasks and stuff, this phone does decently well. However, there are a lot of lags here and there. While playing a 4K video, it started stuttering a little. This happened a couple times. And while playing the video, when you close it, you can see how laggy it gets. This happens every time, and this has to do with the optimization and the software and the UI. You can see this is my 2-year-old phone and this has no such issue. This seems to happen with most of the OTT stuff. As you can see, this is the Z5. You can see how laggy it gets, and also this is the Prime Video, and yes, the same thing happens. Apart from these issues and some minor lags, the phone overall feels decently smooth, and the RAM management also seems to be pretty decent, I would say. So looking at the display, I personally didn't like the natural mode. It looks really dull. I'm probably used to the saturated colors from my previous phone. So here you can see the difference, the natural versus the saturated. Just try and guess it and let me know which one you actually like the most. So personally, I chose the saturated option as the natural seems to be quite dull. So here's a quick look at how the video looks as compared to the Samsung phone. So you can see here the saturation level is too much on the Edge 40 as compared to the Samsung phone, which is already known for vivid and poppy colors. And here Edge 40, as you can see, looks even more saturated. So let me know guys which one you prefer the most. I personally feel this is a little too much. Also, outdoor brightness is pretty decent, I would say. In fact, this actually looks better in real as compared to the camera. And this is the Samsung phone that I am using, and this is not particularly very good outdoors. However, yes, this is slightly better. I mean, the Moto Edge is slightly better compared to this phone. So one of the reasons to get this phone is that stock feel and the clean UI. There is pretty much no bloatware or ads, anything as such. Mostly it is clean. However, people have this question whether Motorola is a Chinese company or not. And yes, as you can see here, looking at the privacy policy, they can share this with the Lenovo. I'm speaking in the context that Indian government is trying to restrict data going to China. So this is what it is. So looking at the cameras, now I just want to show you a small clip here, and this is from a DSLR view. This is set around 400 ISO, and it already looks grainy and stuff. So this is how it looks in the Moto Edge 40 viewfinder and also on the other Samsung phone. So clearly the Edge 40 looks brighter. Now this is with the flashlight and this is without the flashlight, and weirdly without the flashlight looks brighter. And this is how it looks on the Samsung phone. So if you look at the photo details, just look at the ISO. Moto Edge 40 seems to crank up the ISO like too much. This is going around 2800 despite the lower aperture at 1.4, while the Samsung shoots at ISO 800 with the aperture 1.8. I mean, going beyond 1600 is way too much for this particular scene, so I feel they need to dial down the ISO so that there is less noise in the pictures. So the pictures taken outside come out pleasing to the eye with saturated colors. However, the video looks choppy and the stabilization isn't that good. The colors also don't seem to look great, so not really good for video. And finally, the battery isn't all that bad. I mean, I charged this the other day around the same time. It's been almost one full day and you can see this is stuck at around 35%. I mean, I did use it very sparingly with a screen on time of around 3.5 hours. So even with the 5 to 6 hours SOT with moderate usage, it should get you through the day. And if you do heavy gaming and stuff, then obviously you need to charge this a couple times. And the fact that this also charges pretty quickly, under 1 hour, and this is definitely another advantage. So if you're a very casual user with no extreme needs, you can go with this. If you want that curved display and you also get that wireless charging and IP rating as a bonus, then you can consider this. Just don't keep your expectations too high. So I hope you found this video helpful. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.